It didn't seem like the president was being very ambiguous about his views on the Iran deal.
No, publicly at least, he doesn't seem like he's changed his views at all. Listen, this was always going to be a sensitive discussion with the French, who continue to support the deal along with all the other countries involved in it. They want to find a way to keep the president in after this May 12th deadline that he has set for making a decision on the U.S. role in the deal. So they're looking for side agreements that deal with some of the sunset provisions in the nuclear agreement. They're looking to find a way to sanction Iran if it continues to test its ballistic missiles. And they want the U.S. to stay in because at this point it's the only leash on Iran's nuclear program that the world has.
Well, talking about what the president seems to find objectionable, they're not going to get the money back. He talks about the barrels of cash. He said, we're not going to get that back. Are there other things that the Europeans could be willing to do so that President Trump said, OK, I've improved the deal enough. I may not love it, but I'll go along with it?
That's definitely the Europeans' goal. They want to find a way. There's some talk about whether there would be, instead of sunset provisions, whether there could be some kind of triggers that would make some of the sanctions jump back into place if it looks like Iran is making progress on developing a nuclear weapon. They want to find a way to maybe sanction Iran the next time it tests a medium-range or long-range ballistic missile, which could hit a number of countries in the region. But they have to do all that while continuing to persuade the president that he should just stay in the agreement, because they really feel that without that accord, there's nothing to really rein in Iran. And you're right, you mentioned the context of North Korea here. That's certainly something the White House has to consider. Just a few weeks away from President Trump sitting down with Kim Jong-un in this historic summit, it would be bad for the optics at the very least if the U.S., which reached this deal in 2015 with Iran, suddenly pulls out because it has a new president. That's going to make North Korea think twice about if any agreement they reach with Trump, how long-lasting it might be.
Yeah, especially if the IAEA says that Iran is complying, Congress says that Iran is complying, so it's not really great for optics, as you say. But the State Department has been the lead in negotiations with European allies on these side agreements on the Iran deal. So what happens now that Mike Pompeo has passed a committee vote? He's headed to a full floor vote. So how would he impact these negotiations?
Well, Mike Pompeo, he's the current CIA director, and he did pass a big hurdle yesterday, getting past the Foreign Relations Committee vote. So he'll go to the floor for the vote on whether to be he can become Secretary of State. He said in his confirmation hearing that he would like to find a way to strengthen the deal. As a congressman, before he was in the White House, or as one of Trump's advisors, he was strongly opposed to the Iran deal. He had views that were very similar to President Trump. He does, however, have a lot of influence on the president, and the fact that he's saying that he's going to try to find a way to keep the U.S. in to strengthen that deal, that's probably a good sign for the European allies and other people who are interested in keeping the U.S. in.